It's another boring Sunday morning at the nightclub. There's barely anyone here, and those who are here don't seem all that interested in partying. I look outside the window, watching the few people outside sigh. It's always so boring here on Sunday mornings. Oh well, might as well make the most of it. I could start by practicing some new dance routines or doing some cleaning around the club, but something tells me I'll end up just lounging around on the couch until lunch break. I can't seem to shake the feeling that I need a vacation. It's been too long since I've taken a break from the nightclub. Maybe I should go on a trip somewhere. But where should I go? And who would run the nightclub if I'm away? These are some of the things that are racing through my mind as I sit here, trying to decide what to do with my boring Sunday morning. After much consideration, I decide to go through with the vacation and start planning my trip to Chicago. I've always wanted to visit the Windy City, and now is the perfect time for an adventure. I begin researching popular tourist attractions, restaurants, and other things to do in Chicago. I can't wait to immerse myself in the vibrant city culture. I head into the kitchen and whip up a quick, delicious meal for myself. I'm in the mood for a veggie burger, so that's what I decide to make. Along with it, I have a side of my favorite chocolate carrots, a fresh salad, and some crispy fries. I can already taste the satisfying flavors in my mind. This is gonna taste so good. As I take my first bite, I'm immediately transported to a world of flavor. The juicy veggie burger, perfectly cooked, is just the right balance of savory and satisfying. The sweetness of the chocolate carrots complements the burger perfectly. The salad adds some crunch and freshness, while the crispy fries provide a tasty contrast. After finishing my meal, I head over to the stage where Fredina is currently performing. I politely wait for a break in her routine, and as soon as she stops, I let her know that I'll be going on vacation for the day. I tell her that I've reserved a hotel room in Chicago and that I should be back tomorrow afternoon. Fredina wishes me a safe trip and reminds me to have fun in a teasing tone. I grab my car keys and head out the door of the nightclub. As I walk towards my car, I can practically taste the excitement building up inside me. I've been looking forward to this vacation for a while, and it's finally time to get started. I hop into my car and drive home, my mind already racing with thoughts of all the adventures I'm going to have in Chicago. I pull into the driveway and park my car. I step out, a little giddy with excitement, and make my way up to the front door. As I unlock the door and step inside, I take a moment to appreciate the tranquility of the house. With a deep breath, I go upstairs to begin packing for my trip to Chicago. I grab my suitcase and start filling it with some essentials for my trip. First, I pack a few of my favorite snacks for the journey, including some chocolate carrots and a few other treats. Next, I add my swimsuit, just in case I decide to take a dip in any pools or beaches. Finally, I pack some basic toiletries like a toothbrush and toothpaste, deodorant, and other personal care items. I take a moment to make sure I haven't forgotten anything important before zipping the suitcase shut. I grab my suitcase and hop in my car, ready to set off on my journey to Chicago. The excitement coursing through my veins is palpable as I drive towards the train station. The thought of the Windy City's countless attractions and its vibrant culture fills my mind with anticipation. I hum to myself, unable to contain my eagerness to embark on this exciting vacation. I pull into the train station parking lot and head over to the ticket counter. After a brief chat with the attendant, I purchase my train ticket to Chicago. With my ticket in hand, I make my way to the platform and start waiting for my train to arrive. The hustle and bustle of the station surrounds me, and I can't help but feel a sense of adventure stirring inside me. As I stand on the platform, my gaze is drawn to the approaching train. My excitement builds as I realize it's the famed Père Marquette. I can't help but feel a sense of awe as I take in the sight of the classic, retro-styled train. The excitement within me reaches new heights as I know that this iconic train will be carrying me to my vacation destination, the Windy City, Chicago. The Père Marquette is a sight to behold. Its classic steam locomotive with its tall smokestack and shining metal, combined with the blue-painted passenger cars, creates an enchanting atmosphere. The train exudes a sense of history and elegance, and it's almost hard to believe that this is the very train that will take me on my adventure to Chicago. I eagerly step onto the train and take a moment to soak in the atmosphere. The vintage charm of the interior, with its polished wooden panels and the soft hum of the locomotive, immediately transports me back in time. I find my seat and settle in, feeling both excited and relaxed at the same time. The journey to Chicago is officially underway. As the train whistle blows, signaling its departure, I feel a rush of anticipation. The train begins to move, and the sound of the wheels against the tracks creates a soothing rhythm. I look out the window, observing the scenery passing by as the train leisurely travels towards Chicago. I sit back and relax, watching the world unfold outside the train window. The vast fields and towns pass by, each one offering its own unique charm. The gentle rocking of the train and the soothing sound of the wheels against the tracks create an almost meditative atmosphere. It's a peaceful journey, one that allows me to collect my thoughts and revel in the excitement of the adventure ahead. The train continues its journey, passing through a variety of landscapes. One moment we're weaving our way through lush forests, and then the next we're crossing over a bridge that offers breathtaking views. We go through tunnels that briefly block out the sunlight, only to re-emerge into the open where we're treated to fields of goldenrod and other wildflowers. It's a visual feast, and I savor every moment of it. As the train crosses a particularly long and impressive bridge, I can't help but lean closer to the window to get a better view. The sight of the river below us, flanked by towering pines, is both awe-inspiring and serene. I can practically feel the cool breeze and hear the gentle rustling of the trees. It's a magical moment that I won't soon forget. I make a mental note to capture this scene in one of my sketches when I get the chance. The journey continues for another 2 hours, during which time I alternate between staring out the window at the scenery and reading a book to pass the time. The rhythmic sound of the wheels against the rails provides a steady background noise, while the occasional whistle blow reminds me that we're making good progress towards Chicago. As the train journey continues, I take a moment to pull out my phone and send a quick text to my boyfriend Gogita, who's currently on a trip with his friends Goku and Vegeta. I miss him, but I know he's having a blast with his pals. I type out a brief message, letting him know that I'm on my way to Chicago for a little vacation of my own. Just thinking about him puts a smile on my face. As I think about my boyfriend Gogita, I can't help but let my mind wander to thoughts of us getting married. I remember the recent wedding between Vegeta and Chiku, which was a beautiful event. The thought of me and Gogeta having our own special day fills me with excitement and a touch of nervousness. I hope that someday he will ask me the all-important question, and I'll be able to say yes without hesitation. As I daydream about the possibility of getting married to Gogeta, my mind instantly goes to the image of me in a beautiful white wedding dress. I can practically see the lace and satin, the way it would fit perfectly to my shape, accentuating my curves and making me feel like a true bride. I imagine the joyous look on Gogita's face as he sees me walking down the aisle, and the overwhelming happiness that we would share on that special day. As my daydream continues, the idea of wearing a wedding dress brings tears of joy to my eyes. I can almost feel the soft fabric against my skin, and see the love and adoration in Gogita's eyes as he looks at me. The thought of standing beside him, pledging our love to each other, makes my heart swell with emotion. It's a magical vision, and I can't help but hold on to it tightly, hoping that someday it will become a reality. After sending the text to Gogeta and immersing myself in thoughts of our future together, I turn my attention back to the journey at hand. The train continues to move forward, and I watch as the landscape outside shifts from forests and fields to small cities and suburbs. The train's steady rhythm lulls me into a peaceful state of mind, and I relish the sense of tranquility that surrounds me. As I gaze out the window at the approaching city of Chicago, excitement and anticipation surge within me. I can see the impressive skyscrapers towering in the distance, their glass surfaces glinting in the sunlight. The train slowly pulls into the station, and my heart skips with eagerness to start exploring this new city. I smile to myself, knowing that my vacation has officially begun, and as the train comes to a stop, I prepare to embark on my Chicago adventure. I step off the train, my suitcase in hand, and take a deep breath of the city air. The smell of exhaust and fast food restaurants fills my senses, and the hustle and bustle of the city surrounds me. I look around, taking in the sights of the busy station, and start making my way towards the exit. I can already feel the excitement bubbling up inside me, and I can't wait to start exploring the bustling streets of Chicago. After navigating through the crowds at the train station, I finally find my bearings and head towards the hotel. As I walk through the city streets, I'm struck by the energy and vibrancy of Chicago. The tall buildings, the bustling streets, and the diverse array of shops and restaurants all contribute to the city's unique atmosphere. Despite the hustle and bustle, there's a certain charm to it all, and I find myself feeling more and more excited as I get closer to my hotel. As I approach the hotel, I notice the elegant exterior, complete with a grand marquee and well-manicured landscaping. My heart flutters with anticipation at the thought of starting my vacation in this beautiful place. I head inside, checking in at the front desk and making my way to the elevator. The air is filled with the soft sounds of jazz music and the hum of conversation as other guests go about their business. I press the button for my floor, ready to unpack and relax in the luxury of my hotel room. I arrive at the second floor and make my way to my room, number 10. As I insert the keycard into the lock and push the door open, I'm immediately struck by the spaciousness of the room. A king-size bed with luxurious linens, a flat-screen TV, a cozy seating area, and a spacious bathroom all await me. I take a moment to take it all in and smile, already feeling the stress of my daily life melting away. I place my suitcase on the bed and take a moment to sit on the plush couch in the seating area. I grab the remote and turn on the TV, looking for something entertaining to watch. Just then, my stomach lets out a loud growl, reminding me that I haven't eaten in a while. I debate for a moment whether to order room service or venture out and explore the local food scene. The thought of trying some authentic Chicago pizza or a Chicago-style hot dog sounds too tempting to resist. I grab the room service menu and flip through the options, my mouth watering at the thought of trying some genuine Chicago cuisine. The deep dish pizza with its thick, buttery crust and oozing cheese looks incredibly tempting. I decide to order that, along with some crispy carrots and, of course, chocolate carrots. My stomach rumbles with anticipation as I place the order, eagerly awaiting the arrival of my mouth-watering feast. Finally, the waiter arrives at my door, pushing a cart adorned with a beautiful array of food. Deep dish pizza is perfectly cooked, the crust golden brown, and the cheese perfectly melted. The chocolate carrots look divine, and the carrot sticks are nicely crisped. I can feel my hunger growing stronger as the waiter sets the food down on the table in front of me. I can't wait to dig in and experience the delicious flavors of Chicago. I grab a slice of the pizza and take a bite, savoring the rich, cheesy goodness that fills my mouth. The thick crust and generous amount of toppings make for a gratifying experience. As I reach for a chocolate carrot, I pop it into my mouth and enjoy the sweet chocolate flavor that perfectly complements the crispness of the carrot. I continue to nibble on the food, relishing the authenticity of the Chicago cuisine and feeling grateful for this exciting vacation. As I finish my meal, I take a moment to savor the lingering flavors on my tongue. The greasy pizza and sweet chocolate carrots were the perfect combination of indulgence and satisfaction. I lean back on the couch, feeling content and full, and start thinking about what I'm going to do for the day. The city of Chicago is sprawled out before me, just waiting to be explored, and the possibilities are endless. With a wide smile on my face, I decide that the beach is the perfect place to start my vacation. I grab my bathing suit, sunscreen, and towel and head out of the hotel room, excited for a day filled with sun, sand, and relaxation. The thought of sunbathing, swimming in the cool water, and taking leisurely walks along the shoreline makes my heart flutter with anticipation. I step out of the hotel and immediately catch a glimpse of the bright blue ocean, and to my delight, it's just across the street. I can hardly contain my excitement as I make my way towards the beach. The sun is shining brightly, and the sound of the waves crashing against the shore fills the air. I can already picture myself lounging on the soft white sand, feeling the warmth of the sun on my skin and the cool water gently lapping at my toes. I approach one of the stands near the beach and order a refreshing grape juice drink. The sweet, tangy taste is the perfect companion for a day at the beach. Armed with my drink, I make my way to the shoreline and settle down on the warm sand. The ocean waves roll in, creating a soothing melody that blends with the sounds of laughter and chatter from fellow beachgoers. A smile spreads across my face as I take a sip of my drink and gaze out at the beautiful, expansive sea. I continue to sit on the beach, sipping my drink and watching the waves gently laugh at the shore. The rhythmic sound of the water, mixed with the sounds of the seagulls and the distant chatter of people, creates a melodic atmosphere that instantly puts me in a serene mood. I tilt my head back and close my eyes, soaking in the tranquility of the moment and feeling grateful for this opportunity to unwind and enjoy the beauty of nature. As I bask in the peaceful atmosphere, a soft, ticklish sensation suddenly lands on my left rabbit ear. Startled, I quickly open my eyes and see a beautiful white butterfly perched delicately on my ear, its wings fluttering gently. I'm taken aback by the unexpected encounter, but a sense of wonder washes over me at the same time. I stay still, mesmerized by the butterfly's grace and how it adds to the magical ambiance of the beach. I slowly extend my finger towards the butterfly, and to my delight, it gently lands on it, its tiny legs gripping tightly. The butterfly's wings flutter softly, sending a tickle down my arm. I can't help but feel a sense of enchantment at this moment, as if the butterfly has chosen me as its temporary perch. I carefully bring my finger closer to my face, observing the intricate pattern on its wings and marveling at its delicate beauty. As the butterfly crawls slowly up my arm, its soft touches sending a flurry of tingles down my arm, it eventually reaches my face. I can feel its antennae gently brushing against my skin, as if it's inspecting me. I stare into its tiny, compound eyes, finding a strange fascination that I've never experienced before. The butterfly comes to a stop on my cheek, its wings still fluttering occasionally, creating a gentle, tickling sensation on my skin. As the butterfly's antennae continue to explore my face, I feel a sudden, delicate brush against my cheek. Was that a kiss? A warm, fuzzy sensation washes over me as I try to process what just happened. I can't help but feel a sense of wonder and magic at the idea that the butterfly might have just given me a little butterfly kiss on my cheek. It's a mysterious and adorable moment that adds to the enchantment of the beach experience. As I marvel at the butterfly's unexpected gesture, the tiny winged creature suddenly spreads its wings and takes flight, gracefully soaring away towards the open sky. I watch with a mixture of awe and sadness as it disappears into the distance, leaving behind a sense of magic and wonder that lingers on my skin. I continue to sit on the beach, sipping my drink and wondering if that butterfly moment was nothing more than a dream, but the residual tingle on my cheek reminds me that it was all too real. After witnessing the butterfly's departure, I can't resist the allure of the inviting water any longer. I make my way to the shore, feeling the warm sand beneath my feet, and then step into the sea. The cool water crashes against my skin, refreshing and revitalizing me in an instant. I wade deeper, relishing in the feeling of weightlessness as I swim further out into the ocean. The combination of the gentle waves and the warmth of the sun envelop me, making me feel alive and carefree. As I swim underwater, I'm immediately enchanted by the colorful fish that dart around me, their scales shimmering like jewels in the sunlight that filters through the water's surface. Even more astonishing, I notice dolphins gracefully swimming towards me, their friendly nature evident as they come up to kiss my cheeks. I can't help but marvel at this surreal experience, feeling like I've been transported to an underwater fairy tale. As the fish and dolphins continue to shower me with kisses, I can't help the blush that spreads across my cheeks. It's an absolutely surreal experience, and I can't help but giggle and laugh with delight as the fish nibble gently on my toes and the dolphins nuzzle against me. It's almost as if they're welcoming me into their underwater world, treating me like royalty. I continue to play and socialize with my aquatic friends, feeling like I've found a secret, magical paradise. I spend what feels like an hour in this underwater paradise, swimming and playing with the dolphins and the fish. Their playful antics and friendly nature make me feel like I'm living in a fairy tale. I laugh and smile as the fish nibble on my hands and the dolphins circle me, creating a sense of belonging and acceptance that I haven't experienced in a long time. Finally, I decide to make my way back to shore, feeling my body fatigue from the constant underwater movement. I swim back towards the shore, feeling content and exhausted after my magical underwater adventure. The sunlight dances on the water's surface, creating a mesmerizing display that I'm reluctant to leave behind. As I approach the shoreline, I take one last look at my aquatic friends before making my way back to the sandy beach. As I walk back to the hotel, my mind is still reeling from the incredible experience I just had. I can't help but smile as I recall the feeling of the warm water engulfing me, the touch of the fish and dolphins, and the sense of belonging that I felt with them. I head inside the hotel and take a long, hot shower, relishing the feeling of the water washing away the salt water and the sand on my skin. I enter my hotel room, feeling refreshed and relaxed after my invigorating swim. The cool air of the room sends a shiver down my spine, adding to the feeling of contentment that washes over me. I can't help but smile as I recall the memories of the day, feeling incredibly grateful for this moment of peace and relaxation before starting the next chapter of my vacation. I head into the bathroom and turn on the shower, letting the hot water wash away any remaining salt and sand from my skin. The steam envelopes me in a comforting embrace, and I stand under the spray, feeling the tension slowly melt away from my muscles. As the water cascades down my body, I let out a sigh of contentment and relish the feeling of being completely clean and refreshed. After rinsing the last remnants of shampoo from my hair, I turn off the water and step out of the shower, feeling revived and rejuvenated. The cool tiles soothe my tired feet as I step out onto the bathroom floor, wrapping a fluffy towel around my body. I glance at the mirror, taking in my reflection, and am struck by the sparkle in my eyes and the contentment that radiates from within. Now that I'm feeling refreshed and energized from my shower, I can't help but feel excited to get back out there and explore the city. I quickly get dressed, feeling the soft fabric of my clothes against my clean skin. As I head out the door, I set off towards the park, eager to immerse myself in the bustling energy of the city and discover what other delights it has in store for me. As I make my way through the park, I'm struck by the vibrant beauty of the surroundings. The trees are lush and green, providing a shady canopy over the walking paths, and the flowers are in full bloom, their colorful petals adding splashes of color to the scenery. I take my time, soaking in the tranquility and beauty of the park, before making my way out into the city to explore the diverse architecture. As I continue to explore the city, a sudden craving for my favorite snack, cheddar goldfish, hits me. I quickly stop by a convenience store to pick up a bag, knowing that having an extra stash will give me some peace of mind. In addition to the cheddar goldfish, I can't resist buying some chocolate carrots, something sweet and indulgent to complement my savory snack. Armed with my bounty, I continue exploring the city. The more I think about it, the more I realize that the combination of flavors in my favorite snack is what makes it so irresistible. The savory, slightly cheesy taste of the goldfish pairs beautifully with the sweetness of the chocolate, creating a perfect balance that I can't resist. As I continue walking down the street, I take a small amount of each snack, popping them into my mouth together and savoring the contrasting flavors. With a contented smile on my face, I continue to explore the city, taking in the hustle and bustle of the streets. Pass by various shops and restaurants, their windows filled with enticing displays of goods and mouth-watering food. The sun is beginning to set, casting a warm glow over the city and adding to its charm. I can't help but feel a sense of excitement at the thought of what this city has in store for me, and the promise of future discoveries leaves me feeling alive and inspired. As the sun begins to set, I notice a barbecue restaurant ahead and decide that it would be a perfect spot for dinner. The enticing smell of grilled meats and spices wafts through the air, making my mouth water in anticipation. I approach the entrance and make my way inside, where I'm greeted by the warm, inviting atmosphere and the sight of sizzling meats cooking on the open fire. I take a seat at a cozy table and peruse the menu, excited to try some genuine city barbecue. I take a moment to peruse the menu, my mouth watering as I take in all the delicious options. But after some consideration, I finally make a decision. I order a large steak, cooked to medium rare perfection, along with a side of fall-off-the-bone ribs and a fresh, crisp house salad. As I wait for my order, I can already feel my stomach rumbling in anticipation of the juicy, savory meat and the refreshing veggies. As the waiter brings my food to my table, I can barely contain my excitement. The steak is sizzling hot, juicy, and perfectly medium rare. The ribs are tender and falling off the bone, smothered in a sweet and sticky barbecue sauce. The salad is crisp and refreshing, with a light vinaigrette dressing that pairs perfectly with the meat dishes. As I take my first bite, I let out a sigh of contentment and relish the delicious flavors that burst in my mouth. After savoring every last bite of my delicious dinner, I sit back and take a moment to bask in the contentment that comes from a satisfying meal. My stomach is full, and my taste buds are satisfied, leaving me feeling happy and energized. As I sit back in my seat, enjoying the warm, inviting atmosphere of the restaurant, I can't help but feel grateful for this moment of indulgence and the incredible experience this city has already given me. I take out my wallet and leave a generous tip for the waiter, feeling grateful for the service and the delicious meal. With a smile on my face, I head outside, pausing to take in the cool night air and let my food settle. Then, with a sense of contentment and anticipation, I begin the walk back to my hotel, ready to rest and renew my energy for the next day's adventures. As I approach my hotel room, I can already feel a sense of comfort at the thought of putting on my pajamas and settling in for the night. I open the door and step inside, feeling the cool air of the air conditioning wash over me. Once inside, I head to my luggage and pull out my soft, cozy pajamas, ready to unwind and relax for the rest of the evening. After quickly changing into my pajamas, I climb into bed and grab the remote from the bedside table. I turn on the TV, flipping through the channels until I find something that catches my interest. I prop myself up with a few pillows and settle in for a relaxing evening of TV shows and movies, feeling my body unwind and my mind relax in the cozy comfort of the bed. As I lay in bed and watch the television, my mind begins to wander to my friends and family back home. I think about the exciting experiences I've had in Chicago and how I can't wait to share them with everyone. I imagine the looks on their faces when I tell them about my adventure, and I can't help but feel a sense of excitement at the thought of seeing them again soon. With a contented smile on my face, I close my eyes and drift off to sleep, eager to return home and share my stories. As I watch the movie, my mind starts to wander, and I begin to think about all the wonderful things I've experienced during my trip to Chicago. I think about my friends back home and how excited they'll be to hear all the stories from my adventure. Fredina, Chiku, Fexa, Golden Fredina, Marie, and my boyfriend Gogeta will be so excited to hear all the details of my trip. As I think about sharing all the great memories and experiences with them, I feel a sense of contentment and happiness. As the movie comes to an end, I feel my eyes growing heavy and my body relaxing further into the soft sheets. I turn off the TV and switch off the lights, letting the darkness of the room lull me into a deep and peaceful sleep. As the sun filters in through the curtains, I slowly wake up from the previous night's sleep, feeling rested and refreshed. For a moment, I lie in bed, allowing myself to leisurely wake up and gather my thoughts for the day ahead. After stretching and rubbing the sleep from my eyes, I pull myself out of bed and head over to my closet to get dressed for the day. I choose a comfortable yet stylish outfit and quickly change into it, making sure everything is well put together. With a final check in the mirror to make sure I look presentable, I head out of my hotel room and make my way downstairs to the hotel cafe for a morning meal. As I arrive at the hotel cafe, I'm greeted by the sight of a long buffet table filled with a variety of breakfast options. The smell of freshly brewed coffee and sizzling bacon wafts through the air, making my mouth water in anticipation. Without hesitation, I head over to the buffet and load up my plate with a mix of eggs, toast, bacon, and a few slices of fresh fruit. I grab a cup of coffee from the complimentary station and take a seat at a cozy table near the window. As I make my way down the buffet table, I can't resist the temptation of the freshly baked muffins. The warm, chocolatey scent wafts up to my nose, and I know I have to try one. I grab 2 of the muffins, their golden brown tops glistening with a light dusting of powdered sugar, and place them on my plate. With a satisfied smile, I finally make my way back to my table with a full plate of delicious breakfast food and 2 delectable chocolate muffins. Before digging into my breakfast, I take a sip of the steaming hot coffee, savoring the rich, bold flavor. The caffeine quickly begins to kick in, providing me with a boost of energy to start the day. I take a moment to breathe in the aromas and soak in the cozy atmosphere of the cafe, feeling the anticipation of the adventures that lie ahead. After polishing off the last bite of my breakfast and savoring the last sip of coffee, I feel a sense of contentment wash over me as my stomach is comfortably full. I take a brief moment to reflect on the delicious meal I've just enjoyed and the cozy setting of the cafe. With a smile, I stand up from the table and head out of the cafe, ready to begin my day and continue exploring the city. After a satisfying meal and a brief moment of reflection, I head back to my hotel room to prepare for my return home. As I enter the room, I immediately notice the comfortable and inviting atmosphere that it offers. I switch on the lights and head directly to my luggage, beginning to carefully pack away my belongings and clothes, making sure everything is neatly folded and properly organized. As I pack, I'm filled with a sense of contentment and anticipation for the journey home. After meticulously packing all my belongings, I head down to the hotel lobby to begin the checkout process. The lobby is bustling with guests checking in and out, creating a lively atmosphere. I approach the front desk, where a friendly hotel employee greets me and processes my checkout. With the checkout complete, I bid farewell to the hotel and head outside into the city, ready to embark on the journey back home. With my bag in hand and a sense of excitement in my heart, I head on foot to the Grand train station to wait for my train. The walk is invigorating, and the fresh air and scenery help to invigorate me further. As I arrive at the station, I take a moment to marvel at the grand architecture and impressive design of the building. I find a comfortable spot to wait, taking in the sight of all the people rushing about, and eagerly await the arrival of my train. As I stand in the bustling train station, I feel a rush of excitement course through my veins when I hear the announcement blaring over the loudspeaker. The train to Home City will be arriving shortly at Platform 3. I quickly make my way to Platform 3 and wait for the train to pull up. My heart races in anticipation as the train finally arrives, hissing and puffing as it comes to a complete stop on the track. The doors slide open with a whoosh, and I step onto the train, ready to begin my journey back home. As I step onto the train, I notice that something seems different about it. The coach car that I've entered is not the typical modern train car I'm used to. Instead, it resembles the opulent and luxurious Orient Express, with its dark wood paneling, intricate carving, and plush upholstery. The train is not just a mode of transportation, but a work of art in and of itself, and I can't believe I get to travel in such opulence. As I stand inside the luxurious train, I can't help but feel awestruck by the intricate details and sumptuous furnishings that surround me. I take in the sight of the ornate carvings, polished brass work, and plush upholstery that add to the opulent atmosphere. But my excitement is briefly interrupted when I hear the sound of the train's whistle blaring loudly overhead, signaling the imminent departure of the train. I feel an intoxicating mix of anticipation and thrill. The sound of the train's whistle is one of my favorite parts of riding on a train. There's something so exciting and nostalgic about the loud, piercing sound that signals a journey is about to begin. It's a sound that fills me with anticipation and excitement, making me feel like anything is possible. As the train whistle blares, filling the air with its loud, authoritative sound, I can't help but feel a sense of anticipation and excitement, ready to begin the journey ahead. As the train begins to move, leaving the station in its wake, I feel a rush of excitement and anticipation course through my veins. I look out the window and watch as the cityscape begins to pass by, the buildings and streets becoming a blur of color and activity. As the train picks up speed and the cityscape fades into the distance, I feel like I'm leaving behind the familiar and moving toward the unknown, full of excitement and possibility ahead. As the train leaves the city behind, we begin to pass through open fields and countryside. The tall green grasses sway in the wind, creating a sea of green that stretches out before us in all directions. Occasionally, we pass by small towns or houses nestled amid the fields, adding brief splashes of color to the otherwise green landscape. The sun shines down on everything, casting a warm glow and making the countryside seem even more tranquil and serene. After taking in the beauty of the countryside from the train window, I finally take a seat on one of the cushy velvet seats. I settle into the plush cushion, feeling it mold around me in all the right places and provide a comfortable place to relax. The plush upholstery feels velvety and smooth under my touch, and the seat is so soft that it feels like sinking into a cloud. I let out a sigh of contentment as I realize just how comfortable and luxurious this train ride really is. As I settle into the seat, my eyes take in the sight of the train car's interior. The rich, dark wood panels that line the walls are polished to a lustrous sheen and create a warm and inviting atmosphere. The carved details on the wood add an extra touch of elegance and opulence. The paint on the walls is a deep, dark shade that perfectly complements the wood and adds to the overall ambiance of the train car. I can't help but feel awestruck by the beauty and extravagance of the carriage. As the train continues its journey through the countryside, we pass over bridges that span wide rivers and lakes, providing stunning views of the water below. We also pass through small towns and neighborhoods, adding brief splashes of color and life to the otherwise green countryside. The changing scenery is like a constantly moving painting, each new view more beautiful than the last. I can't help but feel a sense of awe and contentment as I watch the scenery rush by outside. The hours slowly tick by as the train continues its journey through the countryside. I spend the time gazing out the window, taking in the changing scenery and marveling at the beautiful sights spread out before me. Occasionally, I'll get up to stretch my legs or use the restroom, but for the most part, I spend my time sitting in my comfortable seat, relaxing and enjoying the luxury of the train ride. Before I know it, the journey has lasted 4 hours. As the journey continues, I take out my phone and message my boyfriend Gogeta. To keep him updated on my progress and let him know I'm thinking of him, I text, "Hey babe, just wanted to say I've started my journey home. The train ride is absolutely amazing. It feels like I'm on the Orient Express. I can't wait to get home and see you. I love you." After sending the message, I put my phone away and look out the window, watching the rolling fields and small towns go by. I feel a sense of contentment and excitement as I think about getting home and seeing my boyfriend. The journey has been so enjoyable so far, and I know it's going to make for a wonderful reunion when I finally get home. After texting my boyfriend, I decide to reach out to my friends as well and let them know that I'm on the final leg of my journey home. I send individual messages to Fredina, Chiku, Fexa, Golden Fredina, and Marie saying, "Hey guys, just wanted to let you all know I'm on the train headed home. The journey has been absolutely incredible so far, and I can't wait to see you all soon. Let's hang out soon." After more hours of travel, the train finally pulls into the station at 11:45 a.m. The brakes screech and the train comes to a stuttering stop, signaling the end of the train ride. I can feel a sense of excitement and anticipation building up inside me as I prepare to step off the train and begin the last leg of my journey home. As I step off the train and onto the platform, I feel a sense of accomplishment and excitement coursing through me. After hours of travel and countless beautiful sights, I finally reached my destination. I take my bag from the luggage compartment and head towards the parking lot to find my car and begin the last leg of my journey home, eager to see my friends and boyfriend again and share all the wonderful memories and experiences from my trip. I head to my car and put my bags in the trunk before getting in the driver's seat and starting the engine. With a sense of anticipation and excitement, I make my way towards the nightclub, my mind filled with thoughts of reuniting with my friends. As I drive through the city, I can feel the excitement building inside me, knowing that I'll soon be seeing everyone again after a long time apart. I arrive at the nightclub and park my car, taking a moment to compose myself before heading inside to see my friends. As I walk into the nightclub, I'm immediately greeted by the vibrant atmosphere and the pulsating beats of the music playing over the speakers. I scan the room, looking for my friends, and finally I spot them huddled together at a table, laughing and chatting heartily. I make my way over to them, their faces lighting up at the sight of me. A wave of happiness washes over me as I approach them, ready to catch up and reunite with my friends after so long apart. As I approach the group of my friends, they immediately get up to greet me with warm smiles and big hugs. The feeling of their arms around me and their warm embraces wash over me as we all express our joy at seeing each other again. It's a moment of pure happiness and warmth, surrounded by my closest friends and filled with affection and joy. As we all finally break away from the hugs, our eyes meet and we all start talking at once, sharing our excitement and happiness at being reunited. We start catching up and laughing together, exchanging stories about everything that's happened since we were last together. The nightclub is the perfect setting for our reunion, with the music and atmosphere providing an upbeat and energetic backdrop to our conversations. I begin telling my friends all about my trip to Chicago and the experiences I had there. I start by describing the city skyline and the exciting nightlife, sharing all the unique bars and clubs I had visited. I recount the delicious food I had tasted, including deep dish pizza and authentic tacos. I also tell them about the interesting people I met and the exciting events I had attended. My friends listen intently, asking questions and laughing along as I recount my adventures. After spending time with my friends, I decide it's time to head home and reunite with my boyfriend, Gogeta. I say my goodbyes to my friends and start the drive home, filled with excitement and anticipation to finally see my boyfriend after being apart for so long. As I drive through the city, I can feel my heart racing with excitement at the idea of seeing Gogeta again. As I arrive at my house and park outside, I can feel my heart racing even more as I get out of the car and make my way to the front door. I take a deep breath before opening the door slowly, revealing the warm and inviting interior of the house. As soon as I step inside, I see Gogeta waiting for me with a smile on his face. As soon as I see Gogeta, a feeling of warmth and happiness washes over me, and I rush over to greet him with a big hug. He gathers me up in his arms and hugs me tightly, expressing his joy and happiness at seeing me again. We stay in the embrace for a few moments, relishing the feeling of being together again after being apart for so long. As we pull apart from our hug, we find ourselves gazing into each other's eyes, our hearts filled with love and affection. Before I can say anything, Gogeta leans in and presses his lips to mine in a passionate kiss. It's the first kiss we've shared in a long time, and it feels like a moment of pure magic. As our lips meet in a passionate kiss, a wave of emotions wash over me, and I feel a rush of love and happiness that is hard to describe. We hold each other tightly, our bodies pressed closely together as we share a moment of intimacy and connection. The kiss lasts for several minutes, and when we finally break apart, we both feel breathless and full of love for each other. After having a moment to catch our breath, Gogeta leads me over to the kitchen table where a steaming bowl of my favorite carrot and chicken noodle soup is waiting for me. The smell of the delicious soup fills the air, and I can't help but feel a sense of warmth and contentment as I take a seat at the table. Gogeta takes a seat across from me and watches with a smile as I savor the first spoonful of soup. After finishing the bowl of soup, I look down at the small plate of chocolate biscuits that Gogeta had placed in front of me. I can feel a rush of excitement and happiness as I reach for one of the biscuits and take a bite, feeling the rich chocolatey flavors melt in my mouth. I savor the taste and the sweetness of the biscuit, feeling grateful for the simple act of being pampered by my boyfriend. As I finish the biscuit, I feel a sense of contentment and happiness wash over me as Gogeta and I share another kiss and embrace. We stay in each other's arms for several moments, feeling the warmth and comfort of each other's touch. I feel my love for Gogeta growing stronger and deeper, thankful for his presence and the joy and happiness he brings into my life. After sharing a final embrace, we make our way to the bedroom and lie down on the bed, our bodies curled up together in a comfortable and intimate position. I feel a sense of contentment and security as I lay in Gogeta's arms, feeling the warmth of his body against mine and the sound of his breath in my ear. As I lay in Gogeta's arms, my thoughts drift to the future and the idea of spending the rest of my life with him. I can't help but hope and dream of the day that Gogeta might ask me to marry him, and I imagine the happiness and joy that moment would bring to both of us. As much as I wanted to stay cuddled up with Gogeta, the practical side of me takes over, and I realize that there are some things that need to be taken care of before fully relaxing. I quickly get up from the bed and grab my travel bag from the floor, bringing it over to the laundry room to unpack and do some laundry. As I sort through my clothes, I can't help but smile to myself at the exciting memories I made on my recent trip. I finished unpacking my bag and putting in a load of laundry before making my way back to the bedroom and getting back into the cuddles. As I settle back into Gogeta's arms, I feel a sense of contentment and relaxation wash over me as I relish in the warmth and comfort of his embrace. As I lie in Gogeta's arms, my thoughts once again drift to the possibility of marrying him in the future. I can't help but feel excitement and anticipation at the thought of spending the rest of my life with him, and I imagine the happiness and contentment that marriage would bring to both of us. I look up at Gogeta and admire his handsome features, feeling grateful for his presence in my life and excited for the future that lies ahead. As I drift off to sleep in Gogeta's arms, feeling safe and secure in his embrace, I can't help but feel excited about the possibilities that the future holds. I dream about the adventures and experiences that await us, the love and joy that will continue to grow between us, and the beautiful journey that lies ahead.